192. Want to send a text? AlanCoxShow.com. Want to watch live? See the YouTube stream there. Who's helping out today? Ooh, Winky Wonkman. Well, that's a proud family there on the east side. Guardians win last night. Shut out the Reds, 3-0 there at the Great American Ballpark. It's another one today. They're only playing them twice. 6:40 is the first pitch from Cincinnati all this month. Want to get yourself some gear, whether it's baseball affiliated or Cleveland affiliated or Buzzard affiliated. You're in good shape if you hit CLE Clothing Company. Use Flash for 20% off through the month of August. And no matter how many times you get some stuff from, whether you do it online, whether you do it in one of their stores, that can save you a bit of money. Alan, let me be your understudy. You know, there's so many lines to learn. As everyone knows, this show is entirely scripted. And so each and every day, I have to distribute those scripts to Bill.
The rewrites are
and Mary. Rewrites are tough.
Up to the last moment.
Yeah. And so the cue cards are very cumbersome in here.
Because you keep hiring children to go through them.
Well, they have tiny hands, and I need those fine motor skills because I require them to use calligraphy pens.
It's just, I mean, I'm just saying.
Have you ever known somebody who was an understudy? You have friends who like perform in theater or anything like that? I always think of understudies because it's kind of like no one's ever happy to see you. You know, it's like a backup quarterback, right? Well, backup quarterback's actually a little bit different because you're making a lot, in the pros anyway, backup quarterback, you're making a lot of money and you're just going to practice. So obviously you have huge aspirations of being like the guy, but you're waiting for the guy to get hurt. And when you're an understudy, no one's ever happy to see. You know, people buy, you think about Broadway shows that have big names in them. You know, celebrities doing theater, people you know, and you buy a ticket, you know, shows at that level, you buy your tickets way in advance. And so you buy a ticket in June for a show in November. You go to New York, it's a big thing. Tonight, the part of so-and-so is going to be played by the understudy because the celebrity is sick. No one's happy to see you, but you have to know all the lines. You got to put on the performance. You're going to change some minds. Nobody's going to walk out pissed at the end, but they're going to start off pissed. They're going to walk out going, God, we're great.
Assuming you know who's supposed to be the star.
Well, I think that unless you're like a deeply, deeply committed Broadway season ticket holder, you're going to see a performance because of who's in it. So
not once has anyone I ever known gone to see a Broadway performance because of who's in it.
Really? They went for the play?
They go for the play.
Yeah.
Because, like, you take one like the Book of
Lion
Mormon.
King.
Yes, it made people into stars, but nobody knew who those people were before that play. Same with Wicked. Nobody knew the Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem.
Nobody knew her really before she was in that play. That play, that musical is what made her a star.
I guess I'm thinking more of classic productions. Those were both original productions. Book of Mormon, Wicked, those were original productions. I'm thinking if you go to see Hugh Jackman in The Music Man, right? Like a really old production, but they have a big name.
Yeah, I guess there are.
You're not
those
going
too,
to see
yeah.
The Music Man. The thing's been around since the 50s. You're going to see Hugh Jackman. And if they go, Hugh Jackman's ill, tonight the part of The Music Man will be played by Terry whatever. And you go, Jesus. Terry Buttafuoco, right. Right. It's like when Bette Midler got hurt in Rochelle.
Right.
And they accused the understudy of sabotaging her performance.
But that's also...
Nobody's ever happy to see you when you're the understudy.
I feel like kind of a time passed where that's the only time they're putting those Broadway plays back on Broadway is if they have a star to be the Music Man.
I think you're right.
No one's asking for the Music Man. So yeah, I can understand.
And you're never going to top Robert Preston. So stop. Yeah, Hugh Jackman's great. He's a song and dance man from way back. That dude can do it all. Did you know he's Wolverine?
I thought he was the Browns coach.
Hugh Jackman. Now you're thinking of Hugh Jackson.
Oh,
yes.
I want to see him in The Music Man.
Now, ironically,
I want to go to that production.
I would too. And ironically, Hugh Jackson has a pet Wolverine. So there's a little bit of connective tissue there.
All worked out.
Where is Hugh
That's
Jackson?
That's good writing right there.
Hey, cross that out, will
writing.
ya? I mean, yeah. It's because these little kids don't know cursive anymore, and they're jamming up my cue cards. Where is Hugh Jackson now?
I don't know. last I heard, he was gonna accept a job with Cincinnati, but I don't know if he's still with Cincinnati.
He is the head coach at Grambling State University.
Okay.
Where the hell is Grambling State?
It's
Louisiana. All right. Well, he's the head coach of the Grambling State Tigers. Grambling sounds like a word that should be another word. It should either be rambling or it should be gambling. The Rambling State Tigers doesn't make much sense, nor does the Gambling State Tigers.
That's where you're
But-
wrong.
No, the Gambling State
You ever
Tigers?
seen a tiger gamble?
I haven't.
It's pretty crazy.
All right. Well,
Horrible poker face.
they say you can't change your stripes, so they're
Exactly.
never going to get out of it. They're always
Exactly.
going to be hooked on it. Are you okay, by the way? Somebody told me you had a real meltdown on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. I have had a bad 2 days. And even you just asking that question makes me want to cry. So
I'm just asking if you're all right.
Move on. No,
Oh.
I'm not okay.
You're not okay.
No.
All right.
way to go, Alan.
Well, I don't
It's
know.
such
I
a-
didn't see it.
He's
Somebody
totally fine. It's
Somebody
such a
goes.
simple
Somebody comes to me
question.
this morning and they go, "Mary flipped out," and I go,
didn't flip out.
I go,
It was
"No
all
shit."
text.
I thought they were talking about the show. I go, "No, we were just breaking balls about her dad haunting her house," and they were like, "No, on Instagram," and I was like,
And that was
Oh, I
not
didn't
the
see
same
it.
day. That was.
"I didn't even see it. I'm just making sure you're all right."
Oh, great. Now people are going to get mad at me for crying on it.
Why are they going to get mad at you? It's not like you've never cried on the air before.
I'm just having
It's a
really-
Weepy Wednesday. We missed Tears Day.
Oh, we did.
Oh,
No,
come on,
I
it's
cried
a-
in the bathroom for like 3 breaks
When?
yesterday.
Oh, you did?
From
Yeah.
that poop?
Yeah, I had to stay after because the poop was the last segment, and I had to
No
stay
wonder her
after.
eyes were red. Tears just running down her face.
No,
Oh, all right. Well,
I'm just
really getting your money's worth out of that therapist. You should switch therapists.
I went to him today. It was all crying today.
All
I was
right.
there this morning. It's
All
just
right.
been a very emotional couple days. That's all.
Okay. Oh, is it dad stuff?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I just-
okay.
I've
Is
had-
this an anniversary of some kind that I'm not hip to? Or
No,
oh.
that's the thing. Is that it's like
It's because we were talking about him haunting the house, wasn't it?
I mean, maybe it just brought up feelings or whatever, but it's I'm experiencing a lot of anger for the first time in my grieving process.
The first time, I thought you were
Yeah.
pissed the whole way through.
No, I've
Oh.
been mostly sad,
And now it's anger.
and now I'm really, really, really mad.
Right.
And I 2.5 years in, I still am surprised by these things because they seemingly come out of nowhere and catch me really off guard, and then it just
Are you mad
know.
because you couldn't see the Barbie movie with him?
yeah. He always played with Ken dolls, and now I don't get to experience. that
He's
with him.
Knuff.
Oh. Well, you're moving through the 5 stages, right?
I guess I don't know.
You skipped denial. You weren't in denial. Now you're in anger.
I'm definitely in anger.
Then you'll be bargaining, and I know how you love a deal.
I do love a deal.
That it's supposed to be anger before depression.
There is no linear. None of this makes any
Oh,
sense. And for it to be happening 2.5 years later makes me even more mad than I already am. But yesterday I went off on this thing on Instagram about just how mad I am. I'm mad at him for dying. It makes me mad that he's dead. I'm mad at him for so many things.
Right.
And a lot of them are selfish, where I'm like, my life was so much better when you were alive, and then you died and ruined my life. And screw you for that.
Oh, he ruined your life.
No, I ruined my life.
Oh.
But he died, and that was the catalyst for me
I
to
see.
ruin my own life.
But your life's not ruined.
It's got to make Brian feel
Looking
good.
a lot better.
I know. I know.
My dad died, and now my life is terrible. Brian's standing there like, okay. He's like doing the Homer, walking backwards into the
Yeah.
shrub. Right.
Well, that's what I mean. None of it makes sense. There's no logic in emotion, you know? So.
That's what I've said to Gwen. I said, I'm just waiting for the grenade to go off at some point because I still haven't really processed my dad dying.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know when or if that will ever happen.
Oh,
I'm
it'll
Irish, so we
happen.
stuff it all down.
But
But
also, like
you
you
know.
said the other day, you felt like you got extra time with your dad, whereas Mary feels like she was robbed.
I understand.
of all those years. So,
our dads are still dead.
it,
Yes.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
different circumstances,
Very
to
different
be
si-
sure.
right.
That's right.
So, and also you process things much different than
That is
Mary.
correct as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, so
Okay.
I've just been having a lot of, I mean, there's no explanation for it. It comes out of nowhere.
Normally, what would be a really good antidote for something like that would be thirst traps. But I know you're not super happy with where you are with that either.
Well, that's
Thanks
part
for
of
bringing
it.
that up.
That's part of it. Yeah, Alan's like,
Shut the hell up. Alan's gonna be like, you know what would really help? Voting for Poundcake for best sports talker. But Alan's like, well, you post the thirst trap. Oh, wait, you don't want to.
No, she doesn't, though.
But that's the
I'm not
thing
saying
is,
anything that's not true.
when you say that you're the worst consoler, I never believed you until this moment.
I'm not
'Cause I
trying to
was like,
console you.
hey,
We're
I'm
talking.
I'm having a really hard time. I'm feeling a lot of anger for what seems to be the first time in my life, and I'm expressing it. And you're like, yeah, well, at least you're fat. So, like, you should probably feel good that you're out of shape, right?
You said you were out of shape.
You just brought it up in a time that it didn't matter.
It does matter. Normally, you'd post a thirst trap. So girls do to make themselves feel better.
I posted
This is
really
all.
good
By the way,
picture.
if people are telling me about what's on Instagram, this is already all public information.
No, 100%.
I'm coming to this
I
late.
understand. I'm not upset with you.
And I have
in
never,
any way, shape, or form.
and I have never purported to be a great consoler. I'm a terrible consoler, but I'm
Yeah.
really honest.
No, I'm just having a lot of difficulty feeling and processing anger because it's not something I am used to. Anger is not a feeling I have ever really had. And I've been feeling a lot of it in the last couple of days. So it's confusing, it's upsetting, it's overwhelming. And
Do you want me to dress like your dad and then
No.
beat me up?
no, I'm not mad at him for, I don't know. It's very complicated.
Just
and
throwing ideas
Bill,
out
dress up
there.
like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have to end up how he did too. That's the only thing that's going to make her feel better.
But
So-
Bill's vaccinated.
Huh?
He's vaccinated. He can't die. Well, I guess he could die from
I can die. Don't tell me what I can or can't do. I can die if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
All right, well,
it's a
sorry to
lot
hear that.
all wrapped up into one, and
I
it all
understand.
goes back to just everything is tied to this.
Yeah.
I was talking in therapy today about how like the big thing I'm mad about is that I feel like I'm not myself. I haven't felt like myself since my dad has died. Like none of the things that I used to be good at or enjoy. I feel like I can't do any of those things anymore. I'm not as productive. I'm not as driven. I don't have the same motivation because of grief and depression, and the fact that it's lasted 2.5 years is ridiculous. And he's
Well, it's not like there's a time limit.
well,
on it,
that's
though.
when you be kind to yourself. Like, I don't want to be kind to myself. I want to be productive and
Well,
skinny.
then get to
and-
work.
2.5
Go be skinny.
you
And 2.5
know?
years is not a long time.
It is not a long
especially
time.
in COVID time. Like
Nope.
we lost those 2 years.
I've had
2020, 2021.
2 girlfriends in that time. So think about that.
Yeah,
It's not
Why
that
can't you
much.
measure things in Bill girlfriend units, Mary?
I should. You're right.
BGUs, all right? We're going to
Your
do
dad has
everything
not-
around here in BGUs.
Your dad hasn't been dead for 2.5 years. He's been dead for 2 of Bill's exes.
2 relationships.
Mhm.
That's right. Trouble is, that's not a static unit of measurement.
Yeah,
So,
it changes.
yeah, it's a little different.
It's like Bitcoin. You never really know what it's worth. You know?
And it is a scam.
But yeah, I went off on a thing about how mad I was yesterday on Instagram. And that carried over into therapy today. So it's just, I went to a 12-step meeting last night. So it's just been a very emotional 48 hours.
I understand.
That's all.
Did you get anything from the meeting? Like, were there other people? You know, for people I've talked to friends of mine who are in similar situations, a small portion of it is that sometimes they'll come away going, I feel better because some people there are in really bad shape.
Well,
Which is a weird way to arrive at it, but any silver lining is probably good.
But that's a common thing amongst
Yeah.
12-step meetings is that it's there to help give you perspective, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So it was my first one.
Are you saying that Alan bringing up that you aren't happy with your body right now isn't giving you perspective?
Thank you,
That's a little
Bill.
tough, to be honest with you.
I feel so seen.
No, but I posted like a picture on that note yesterday during my rant. I was saying how mad I am at my dad because when he was alive I was thin and now I'm not as thin, and it's his fault. It's his fault I have to eat so much food and sleep and not exercise. So clearly this has nothing to do with me. But I did post pictures of like when I was at my fittest, which happened to be 2020 when he and I were working out, and then like how I feel today, you know. So that doesn't matter. But at the 12-step meeting, yeah, I did. They send you home with so many little books, so many tiny books to read.
Why are they
Well,
tiny books?
Because they're just small. They're like pamphlets, but more pages. So it's like a miniature book pamphlet. I don't know.
Because people who are crying are also usually squinting,
Yeah.
and so you can see the fine print.
But
Now, I'm no therapist.
are you
and as
sure?
we- as
You've been
we've
killing it for the last
established-
5 minutes.
I'm a different kind of therapist, Mary.
Yeah.
And I am certainly no consoler. But has anyone suggested to you that perhaps if you smiled more,
I have not.
the situation would
Maybe I
improve?
should get
Going down the
flashed.
same road.
I can't be the first person.
Is
to,
this happening because you're on your period?
Now you're gonna feel real dumb because I am on my period. Now what, Bill?
No, I was just
Now what,
maybe,
Dr. Squire?
Then in like 3 days you're gonna be fine. So shut up.
I said that to Brian last night. I came in with my little packet of booklets, and he's like, "How was the meeting?" And I was like, "They gave me all these, so now I'm fixed. So I think everything's fine now."
And I can tell you what bar to go to get flashed.
Okay.
I mean, I can't guarantee that guy's gonna show up again, but
Yeah.
at least if you wander around on that street, I bet there's a good chance that you'll see, maybe not this guy, but somebody's penis.
Yeah, a penis in
Yeah.
general. But no, it's just the big thing for this is that I have not yet experienced anger in my grief. I have not yet. Or maybe I have felt
Ooh, that
it and
sounds
just
like a good
haven't
song.
yeah, I know, right? I haven't identified it yet. So it's just been very difficult the last couple days to I've never been an angry person. So this is surprising on a lot of factors.
I like to remind myself of the wise words that I saw on the cover of the most recent Mary Santora album. Nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
And I would like to remind Mary that I made her angry all the time.
That's different. That's not deep-seated, rooted
But that
trauma
is-
anger.
But it's
It
consistent.
absolutely
It
is.
is consistent. You're right.
It is
You're-
multiple
you're right.
BGUs.
You're right.
And
You're
think
right.
how fun that is. So that's just
To
your life
hate you?
now. That you
Or
just
to feel anger.
just to feel anger.
Okay.
Just think of how because you're not really mad at me. You're having a good time.
Right.
So
I'm
just-
actually very happy.
Yeah.
Smitten.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, I was just listening to you guys on the radio, and everybody's kind of picking fun at Mary a little bit. I was raised by my grandmother. She passed away 12 years ago now, and I think I'm still in denial stage. I haven't went through none of the other emotions yet, so it's completely normal.
Yeah.
12 years later, it's still hard to get your head around that your grandma died?
Still, my fiance was 9 months pregnant at the time she passed away. He's 12 years old now, and still don't think reality's ever hit me.
Right. Was she old? Had she lived a long life?
No, she was 55.
That's young, dude. I mean, that's like barely, like she was your grandmother, but that's definitely not grandmother age.
Yeah, very, very young. My mom had me young. That's why my grandmother raised me. And, it was kind of crazy, really unexpected. She developed throat cancer, and within about 6 months, that was about it. So there was no time to kind of take anything in.
Well, let's hope year 13 is better, Mike.
It's a lucky one.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, thank you. There's Mike out in Madison.
Do you think Mike's grandma and Mary's dad are hooking up in heaven?
I don't know. If you stay the same weight, I don't think he could.
He's a ghost. He don't stay weight.
Oh.
You know,
He's ghost sex.
he's not. You're not a fat ghost. I don't think.
We saw those pictures of Tony Santora as a young man.
If
Get
he
it.
went back to that,
He
he's banging
was
everybody.
disco stew. Yeah, he
They're gonna
was.
kick
He's
him out of
roller
heaven.
skating around.
All right, we'll take a break here and we'll collect ourselves. If you want to send a text, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. Listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
Rover's Morning Glory.
Oddly, Jeffrey asked our phone screener, Crystal, if she would send him a picture of her hoo-ha, claiming he just wants to get into art and wants something to sketch. So she gave him a picture, and he drew it. How'd he do?
Jeffrey did an excellent representation.
Yeah,
that thing is
the hair and the beehole.
just the hugeness of it.
That is...
Did you do a vaginal birth?
You can clearly tell.